Very good morning and welcome back to Samsun and the third and final day of competition at the Samsun Grand-Prix. Let's take a look at the 5 weight categories that we've got to bring you then. We'll start with the under 90 kilo category, and the number 1 seed here is Marcus Niemann of Sweden. The number 2 is Thiago Camilo of Brazil. The number 3 seed is Joachim Dvaby of Sweden, and the number 4 is Cyril Grossklaus of Switzerland. Those are the top 4 seeds. Top 4 seeds in the under 100 kilo category. The world number 1, Elmar Gazimov of Azerbaijan. The number 2 seed here is Toma Nikiforov of Belgium. The number 3 seed is Maxim Rakov of Kazakhstan. And the number 4 seed is Henk Grol of the Netherlands. However, we just had news that Henk Grol has the flu, running a bit of a temperature, and won't take part. In the plus 100 kilo category, well, the world number 1, the current Olympic champion, multi-world championship medal winner, Teddy Riner of France, is the number 1 seed here. Number 2 seed is Borbana of Hungary. The number 3 seed is Rafael Silva of Brazil. And the number 4 seed is Adam of Georgia. That's the category to watch today. 7 of the top 20 in the world are here, including, as I say, the world number 1. In the under 78 kilo category, the number 1 seed is Audrey Chermiot of France, a former world champion. The number 2 seed is Sol Kyung, another former world champion from North Korea. The number 3 seed is Madeleine Malonga of France, and the number 4 seed is Victoria Turks of Ukraine. The last of the weight categories then, the plus 78 kilo category. The number 1 seed here is Svetlana Yaromka of the Ukraine. The number 2 seed is Yasmin Kulbs of Germany. The number 3 seed is Irina Kinzerska of Ukraine. And the number 4 seed is the home fighter, Belkis Zerakaya. All right, we can go back over these and have a look at some of the interesting points. Well, one of the interesting points in the under 90 kilo category is the fact that Marcus Niemann is back to absolutely super form. He comes in here as the number 1 seed, although it's a tough category there. Up in Pool A, Mihail Marchetan of the United Arab Emirates, Hussein Karl Mozaev, Kejau Nabali, Axel Clerget, they're all in Pool A. That's no easy pool. That's going to be a tough day, and that's just in Pool A. Good to see Elmar Gazimov. We'll have a good look at him. The opening contest in that under 100 kilo category, by the way, that we're going to see is taking place on mat number 3. It'll be Bekir Gviniashvili of Georgia. He faces Enis Tata of Turkey. It'll be Gviniashvili in the white judo gi, Tata in blue. Let's go to mat number 3. Down on mat number 1, everybody except the referee knew that he wasn't going to take part. I mean, that would be a thing to do, wouldn't it? Just tell that table he's not coming. Oh well, the message eventually reached down there. That was Henk Grol, who, as I mentioned, has a touch of the flu, a bit of a fever, and he is not taking part. So Ushangi Margiani has already won that contest. There was only one contest in the under 100 kilo category, and then we'll have a full list here. Rakov had a bye, Nikiforov had a bye, Grol had a bye, and Gazimov did. So all the top 4 seeds had byes, and the rest of it, well, action. Bekir Gviniashvili winning out there against Enis Tata of Turkey. Inside a minute, a little bit of a run out for the Georgian before he turns his attention to facing the world number 1. Omar Gazimov. On mat number 3 now, Ben Fletcher of Great Britain faces Grigory Menashkin of Estonia. As a junior, he was one of the most promising fighters. It really was, Menashkin. Things just, I don't know, he's kind of gone off the boil. Let's see if we can dig something out here and come up with a good performance. Fletcher, however, is a dangerous fighter for Menashkin to be up against first thing in the morning. In actual fact, he wouldn't have liked him at any time during the day, so but he's got him first fight. Watchful start from both fighters as they try to find an opening. Menashkin looking to go over on that right side with the Sumigaishi, but Fletcher avoids that easily, but he picks up a penalty for passivity with a little over 3.5 minutes left to go, and he always tries to pull Menashkin across that left leg without any real identifiable wazza. Manhandle him over. Fletcher called for a gripping infringement there. Just wrapping up that sleeve in a fashion that the referee didn't like. And picked up a second penalty. He'd picked up one for passivity. The referee just trying to hurry Menashkin back to his feet there. She thought that he was making a meal of that. And just stepped in front of him to remind him, hey, there's a fight going on here. you may want to get involved in it. After contest gone. No score yet. Fletcher has, however, picked up 2 penalties. A little under 2 minutes to go, and Menashkin picks up the penalty for the false attack. Things going to unravel here for the Estonian, I think. Fletcher's got the better fitness level. And Menashkin looking, he's got that look about him that he's hoping that the referee's going to help him out. Yeah, well, she's not. Third penalty picked up by Menashkin. It's too long on the clock now for this not to end on penalties. It's just a question of who's going to pick up the one that will put them out. The more that Fletcher moves Menashkin, the better it is for him. Not a bad little stab at Osodagari. Would have liked to have been a bit closer. Minute left to go. Maybe just as Fletcher's doing his belt up, he'll be thinking about how he's going to deal with this last minute. I just think the more pressure that he can bring on Menashkin, the better it's going to be. Let Menashkin make an error. Yeah, keep him nice and close. And then the same again, really. Be first to the attack. Put the pressure on Menashkin to come up with an attack. Don't let him back in by giving him a chance to attack. No, he couldn't spin past the legs there, Fletcher. But he'll take that. He's had a quick look at the clock. He realises that there's very little time. Yeah, he's happy with that. Another disappointment for Grigory Menashkin. He just can't find form at the moment. Fletcher it is who wins out, and he goes into round 2.
First round for men under 100 kilograms, number 3. In white for Italy, Vincenzo Darko. In blue for Tajikistan, Saijo Saidov.
Well, before we get too involved with Vincenzo Darko and Shahid Saidov of Tajikistan, we're going to go down to mat number 1. It's not really Leonidze and Kim that we want to have a look at. It's the contest that is coming up after that. But we'll settle in on mat number 1 and have a look and see what Kim Ji-yoon of South Korea can bring to the party against Irina Leonidze of Georgia. She's one of the only Georgian women on the circuit. Janashvili, I suppose you could consider to be on the circuit, and Esther Stamashvili. Well, it's Esther Stam, but they like to nickname her Stamashvili. I suppose we can only really identify Esther by her proper name, which is Stam. No score between Leonidze and Kim. It's just the single Shido against the Georgian fighter, the taller of the two. Second penalty picked up by Leonidze. Remember, we've got 3 mats for you to choose from. You can click on whichever of the mats you want to watch. We've got the under 100 kilo category down on mat number 3, the plus 100 kilo category on mat number 2, and here we're looking at the plus 78 kilo category. Kim Ji-yeon is penalised there. It's not been the most exciting of contests, I'm afraid, but we're just going to hang on for another half a minute or so, because in half a minute we'll get Marcos Niemann, the number 1 seed in the under 90 kilo category. He'll face Mihail Marchetan of the United Arab Emirates. Leonidze picks up a 4th penalty, a disappointing run out for the Georgian there.
Second round for men under 90 kilograms, the country one. In white for Sweden, Marcus Niemann.
Now Marcus Niemann had a bye in the first round, as did Mihail Marchetan. I think there was only one. Yeah, there was one contest in round 1. And even that didn't take place because Ushangi Margiani was due to face Alexander Tsiashenko of Belarus, but the Belarusian didn't turn up, so he was ill. So it's now straight 32 fighters left. This is round 2. Niemann in the white, Juragi Marchetan in blue.
First round for men under 100 kilograms, down Sweden. In white for Hungary, Syrian Sligo. In blue for Austria, Christoph Kronenberg.
Niemann working away on the ground. He's perfectly happy down there, really well known for his newaza. We saw the Polish fighter yesterday, Shvanovitsky, he also had a nice run out on the ground, if you like. Nice strong also was from Niemann to finish off his opening contest and put him into the third round. Unfortunate for Marchitan to come up against the number 1 seed in his opening contest, and he falls at the first hurdle.
Second round for men under 90 kilograms, Taiwan. In white for Russia, Hussein Al-Muzayev. In blue for Turkey.
The next contest then on mat number 1 in the under 90 kilo category, Hussein Al-Muzayev of Russia faces Ahmet Oguzhan Efemgil of Turkey. It's Al-Muzayev in the white judogi, Efemgil in blue. This is one of the twins that we're looking at here. Al-Muzayev, this is Hussein. Hassan is the brother who fights a weight down. In the under 81 kilo category.
Evet değerli komutanım, ikinci üniterde bir sonraki müsabakamıza devam edelim. Erkekler kategorisi 100 kilogram üzeri ilk tur müsabakası beyaz judo ile Türkiye'den
Efemgil picks up a penalty for avoiding to take a grip.
First round for men under 100 kilograms, number 3. In white for Azerbaijan, Erman Mamadov. In blue for United Arab Emirates, Ivan Lemarenko.
Oh, that was beautiful. Really beautiful. He hasn't had the same kind of success that his brother has had, but it's possible that he's been out through injury or things like that, but when he gets going, he is the identical twin. That's a real problem, actually, because, well, I suppose it could be a problem because identical twins, you know.
Second round for men under 90 kilograms. In white for Ukraine, Frejan Kapali. In blue for France, Axel Leger.
Right, coming up next, Kejan Nabali of the Ukraine faces Axel Clerget of France. Nabali in the white judogi, Clerget in blue. Almost came up with the Tomoe-nage there. Now some pressure on as he attacks on the ground. It's exploded the contest all of a sudden. And Nabali leads by Wazari. Clerget comes up with a second score. No, they're taking that one away. Minute and a half, almost four scores. And the fighters get going, that's it, yeah. Got a little bit too close there. Couldn't set himself up, Clerget, and he ended up getting caught. There was all action in that one. Yeah, the brave. Fortune favours the brave, and it did there with Kejan Nabali as he overcame Axel Clerget of France.
Second round for men under 90 kilograms, the topic one. In white for Jordan, Ibrahim Hava. In blue for Turkmenistan, Batir Hoja Muhamedov.
Right. Coming up on mat number one now. Ibrahim Khalaf of Jordan. Just get this right. And it's Batir Haja Muhamedov of Turkmenistan. I can't wait till Neil comes for that one. Those are his favourites. Khalaf in the white judogi. Haja Muhamedov in blue. Well, we got a bit of action from the Clerget-Nabali fight, didn't we? 4 scores in there. It was a good little tussle to get things underway. I mentioned earlier on that the category that I thought worth watching would be the plus 100 kilo category for men. That was a reasonable effort there from Hoja Muhammadov. I'll get it right. By the time Neil comes, I'll sound like an expert, but I'm not that sure that Hoja Muhammadov will be around then. There's a long way to go till we get towards that, the final stages. Well, beautifully done by Hoja Muhammadov, throwing Ibrahim Khalaf of Jordan for Ippon.
Second round for men under 90 kilograms, that can be won.
Coming up next, Cyril Grossklaus of Switzerland faces Nodari Beriani of Georgia. It's Grossklaus in the white judogi, Beriani in blue.
First round for men over 100 kilograms, that number 2. In white for International Judo Federation, Hussein Fijli. In blue for Belarus, Alexander Batyanik.
Erkek üçüncü bir sonraki müsabaka Real Judo ile Moğolistan'dan Kutsal Sofya ve Anadolu ile Türkiye'den Nazmi. Evet, Erkoğan'ın 3. biterden bir sonraki müsabakayla devam edelim. Beyaz Judo ile Brezilya'dan Rafael Dozatari. Mavi Judo ile Gürcistan'dan Aleksandra Mikaladze.
Second round from weight number 92 at the 21. In white for Belarus, Igor Zhukov. In blue for Uzbekistan, Ishon Shomiyev.
Evet, Erkoğan'ın 3. biterden bir sonraki müsabakadan Güney Kore'den Beyaz Judo ile Yuri var. Mavi Judo ile Türkiye'den Zeynep Becerikli.
Coming up next on mat number 1, Igor Zhukov of Belarus faces Dilshod Choryev of Uzbekistan. It's Zhukov in the white judogi, Choryev in blue. Fighters are just making their way to the mat now. At the moment, on mat number 2, we've got a contest between Park Yoo-jin of South Korea and Zeynep Becerikli of Turkey, but it's the contest after that we're going to be interested because we're going to get a chance to see for the first time today Teddy Riner. He faces Juhan Metis of Estonia. That'll be in a couple of minutes from now. And then we'll stay on mat 2 and watch the whole of that round, the whole of that second round in the in the plus 100 kilo category.
In white for Qatar, Reda Hatba. In blue for Switzerland, Patrick Moser.
Choryev it is, who is back to his destructive self, well, at least in that performance there, as he puts out Igor Zhukov of Belarus. Coming up next, Karolis Bauza of Lithuania. He faces Batuhan Efemgil of Turkey. It's Bauza in the white judogi, Efemgil in blue. Fermigil having a little bit of a look at a turnover, but really not going anywhere there. However, it's Bowser, as they get to their feet, who picks up the penalty for passivity.
Second round for men over 100 kilograms, number 2. Please welcome the white for France, current Olympic and 8 times world champion.
Right, we're going to go over to mat number 2 then, because coming on to the mat now is Teddy Riner of France. He faces Juhan Metis of Estonia. It's Riner in the white judogi, as is usual, and Metis in blue. I wonder when was the last time Teddy Riner wore a blue judogi? That's a good question, isn't it? You know, for you at home, you know, if you like that kind of thing, quizzes. When was the last time that Teddy Riner wore a blue judogi? I bet he hasn't got one. Maybe he wears them in training. Metis picked up the penalty for ducking underneath there. I think that but there is a photograph of him wearing a blue judogi. I don't know when that's from. Could be from Beijing, I suppose.
Second round for men under 92 at the Tommy 1. In white for Spain, Nicolas Sherazadishvili. In blue for Azerbaijan, Ramin Kurbanov.
He had a little look at the Uchimata there, didn't he? Just a little movement. Didn't feel right, so didn't come up with an attempt. Riner poised to strike here, but it's Metis who's going to pick up the penalty for an overly defensive posture. Just straightening his arms out and trying to keep Riner at bay. You may argue that Riner didn't put in any attacks. Well, in that situation, Riner was the fighter who was looking for an opening. Metis was the fighter who was doing everything that he could to make sure that he didn't come under attack. And for that reason, Riner appeared positive and Metis negative, and it was Metis who picked up the penalty. Neither fighter has been tested, but I'd put my neck on the line to say that it really is up to Metis to come up with something. The likelihood is that when Riner's ready, he'll launch. So better go first. Oh, that was tame. Metis is going to be lucky to escape here. He just got rolled so easily. Minute 20 odd to go. 2 penalties picked up by Metis. Not the explosive action that those in the audience early on a Sunday morning had hoped to see from the 8 times world champion and current Olympic champion. They're hoping that he's going to put on a bit of a show. Metis picks up a 3rd penalty this time for avoiding to take a grip.
Second round for men under 90 kilograms, etappe 1. In white for Brazil, Thiago Camilo. In blue for...
And there's just about enough there, yeah, for a score. Yeah, there was. You know, Metis failed in his effort. Renier took it over. And at least there was some downward movement to put Metis on the scoring part of his body. So, yeah, why not? Yuko may prove enough, and Renier will probably at the end of the contest be grateful for the run out, if you like, without being disparaging to Juan Metis, but this is what it's been, hasn't it? You know. Apart from that, you know, if you watch Renier a lot, there's a moment before he before he takes off when you know it's coming, and there was the setup, and there was just nothing that Metis could do to stop it. It came with, 4 seconds left on the clock, and all of a sudden Renier decided, I'm gonna go here. And when he did, it was the one big attack, the single big attack that Renier launched, and over he went. It's always that crunching Osodagari here. Zero wrong with that. Absolutely everything as you would want it. Oh well, Teddy Renier, unsurprisingly, into the quarter-final, I believe that is now. On the mat now, Daniel Alastorfer of Austria. He faces Ilyur Masharipov of Uzbekistan. It will be one of these two to face Renier in the first of the quarter-finals. Good luck with that. But we're going to stay with the plus 100 kilo category. There are a good number of highly rated fighters in here, so why not? Teddy Renier, the world number 1, is the number 1 seed. The world number 3, Borbana, is in here, and then we've got number 9, Rafael Silva, Brazil. Number 11, Adam Okrashvili. Number 12, David Mura of Brazil. Number 13, Levani Matiashvili of Georgia, and number 20, Luri Krakovetsky of Kyrgyzstan. So 7 of the top 20 in the world are here. David McFall has just sent us an email from Japan to tell us about the championships taking place there in the head-to-head in the under 48 kilo category. Asami Haruna and Kondo Ami. That match did not take place. The reason for that is that Asami was eliminated in the first round. Kondo went on to win the final. I'll try and find out who it was that knocked Asami out. But that really is the end of the hopes for Asami and the Olympic Games in Rio. She would have needed not only to have won the championships, but probably to have beaten Kondo along the way. It didn't happen. And Kondo is now in the driving seat, so I'll just message Mr. McFall and see if he can tell us a little bit more about who did what. And Lars, I'll answer your message in a minute about the referees on the mat and the way they work and who some of them are and where they come from. Alastorfer it is, who wins out over Masharipov, and it'll be Alastorfer to face Teddy Riner in the first of the quarterfinals.
Second round for men over 100 kilograms, become 2. In white for Georgia, European Games champion.
Coming on to the mat now, Adam Okrashvili of Georgia. He faces Yezhan Shinkiev of Kazakhstan. It's Okrashvili in the white judogi and Shinkiev in blue. Single Shido at the moment against Zinkiev. 2 penalties. Well, a penalty apiece anyway. Okrashvili 1 and Shinkiev. Half the contest still to come. Okrashvili looking a little bit frustrated. He was trying to find a way past Shinkiev. He took that over. Shinkiev thought about the Ashiwaza, and then Okrashvili took that over. Slightly comic situation that's taking place just off camera. I'll finish off with Adam Okrashvili and Yezhan Shinkiev. Okrashvili, that single Wazari is going to be enough, but just it's not in the shot, but it's something that's happening just in front of me. The medical table is a couple of meters in front of me, and the French coach, Labi Benbou Daoud, who was a super fighter himself, but only at 66 kilos, he's come over with a hand injury. So I thought, well, how did you injure your hand? You're just the coach, you know. You shouldn't. I thought I'd go over and have a joke with him. I said, how did you manage to injure your hand? He said, I was warming up with steady Riner. So he had the duty of warming up Teddy Riner, and now he's in the medical station getting some treatment. Coming up next on mat number 2, it'll be David Moura of Brazil Let me get the full name, hang on, because we may only have to say this once. Mukhamud Abdurakhmanov of Tajikistan. There you go. Mura in the white judogi, Abdurakhmanov in blue. Well, Labi has got some real strapping on his left arm and wrist. And ice, it's all sorts of stuff. That's just from the warm-up area. I think they're going to have to bring a warm-up partner for Rinne. That would be a sensible move, wouldn't it?
Fenerbahçe'nin 3. liderlik bir sonraki müsabaka bayanlar kategorisi 78 kilogram üzeri beyaz judo ile beyaz Rusya'dan Maria Slutskaya ve mavi judo ile Kazakistan'dan Gülsen İhsanova. Müsabakalarımıza birinci liderde devam ediyoruz. Erkekler kategorisi 92 kilogram ikinci tur müsabakası.
Both fighters have picked up a penalty apiece. David Murray it is who sees off the challenge of Abdurakhmanov. The Brazilian goes into the quarterfinal. He'll face Adam Okrashvili of Georgia. Right, coming up next on mat number 2, Borbana of Hungary faces Benjamin Harmedjanis of Belgium. It's Bor in the white judogi, Harmedjanis in blue. Bo just looking for an opportunity with Hermogenes to get him moving. He gets hold of him there with that right-sided Makikomi, and now trying to wrap things up in the Osaikomi. He'd like to have just a little bit more of that right arm. But he's a strong guy, and that's where he'd like to have his right arm around the head. That'd make it easier, but this will be enough anyway. Makikomi into an Oshiro Kezugatami was the finish for Borbana. It's Bo into the third of the quarterfinals. Well, the next contest then on mat number 2 features Luri Krakovetskyl of Kyrgyzstan. He's up against Ushangi Kokauri of Azerbaijan. It's Krakovetskyl in the white judogi, Kokauri in blue.
Evet, Ermaklar 3. liderdeki bir sonraki müsabaka beyaz judo ile Büyük Britanya'dan Sara Akito ve mavi judo ile Türkiye'den Kübra Kara.
Second round for men under 90 kilograms, tatami 1. In white for Sweden, Joakim Norway. In the blue for Great Britain, Fraser Chamberlain.
Both fighters pick up a penalty. Both fighters passive there, so the referee deciding, okay, not to penalise you. Krakovetskyl getting hold of Ushangi Kokauri there. And throwing the Azeri for Ippon. It'll be Krakovetskyl to face Borbana of Hungary in the third of the quarterfinals. Coming on to mat number 2 now, Rafael Silva of Brazil faces Alexander Vachaviak of Belarus. It's Silva in the white judogi, Vachaviak in blue.
In white for Brazil, Rafael Silva. In blue for Belarus, Alexander Vachaviak. In white for Poland, Patryk Ciechowski. In blue for Ukraine, Wagner Siniaski.
Evet, üçüncü bedende bir sonraki müsabaka bayanlar kategorisi 28 kilogram üzeri beyaz bölgede Porto Melissa Moika ve Avrupa bölgede Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'nden Nina Kudrokey.
Akaviak has picked up a single Shido. He's going to need to step things up if he's going to threaten Rafael Silva. Zari down. He'll pick up another penalty here for holding on to one side. Well, he escapes. Jo Min-sun either informed by her colleagues that not to bother about that one, or she simply missed it. Seemed to be over there for rather a long time. Half a minute left then. Vakaviak with no sign of causing Rafael Silva any problems. Brazilian walking this one really. Even the coach, the Belarusian coach, shakes his head, and the youngster who's assigned to carry all the footwear and tracksuit top or whatever it is, he shakes his head as well. And he has another little shake of his head, doesn't he? And yeah, the coach gives him a tap, says, yeah, you know, don't you? You can see. Even you can see. That was terrific. That was a difficult day for the coach. He had to sit there. Couldn't help his man out. Rafael Silva through to the last of the quarter-finals. Now, Silva will face the winning of the upcoming contest. That's between Levani Matiashvili of Georgia and Feyyaz Yazici of Turkey. It's Matiashvili in the white judogi, Yazici in blue. I thought Matiashvili was short for the weight category, but Jazica is even shorter. Well, whilst Matiashvili and Jazica are going head to head, I'm just going to have a look and see what may be of interest in the upcoming contest. We'll stay here because Audrey Chermio will face Park Eugene. That's the next contest here. Match 3. At some stage we'll go down there because Elmar Gazimov of Azerbaijan will face Beka Gviniashvili. That'll be the fight of the round, I dare say.
Second round for men on the back to the top round. In white for Azerbaijan, Mamadalı Mehdiyev. In blue for Georgia, Ushanli Marmiani.
Well, Jazica certainly giving it a good little effort. And if you want to continue watching this one, then stay on mat number 2. But we're going to go down to mat number 3. Good luck to Jazica and Matiashvili. We're going to go down to mat number 3 because the world number 1 and number 1 seed here, Elmar Gazimov of Azerbaijan, is up against Beka Gviniashvili of Georgia. It's Gazimov in the white judogi, Gviniashvili in blue. Oh dear, oh dear. There are all sorts of terms that you can use to describe that. I'm not even going to get into it, but painful is one of them. And ask Gazimov if that was painful or not. Now, here is the question. Is Beka Gviniashvili, because this is what people have been asking, a genuine threat in the under 100 kilo category? This is the world number 1 here. In white, this is the world number 1. And he picks him up like, you know, ragdoll. Buries him. Absolutely leathered. Is Gviniashvili a threat at 100 kilos? Well, as I say, ask Gazimov to answer that question. Once more on the big screen in the stadium, he's gone over. On the mat now, Benjamin Fletcher of Great Britain faces Vincenzo Darco of Italy. It's Fletcher in the white judogi, Darcho in blue.
Second round for women under 78 kilograms, the 92. Please welcome in white for France, the former world champion, Audrey Chippew. And in blue,
Well, if you want to, if you want to continue watching the contest between Ben Fletcher and Vincenzo Darco, just press 3. But we're going to go to mat number 2 because the number 1 seed in the under 78 kilo category, the former world champion Audrey Chippew of France, is just about to get underway in her contest against Park Yoo-jin of South Korea. It's Chippew in the white judogi, Park in blue. Not sure what it is that they're reviewing. Oh, it's Han Sokamake for a leg grab from Park Yoo-jin. I dare say that it was maybe defensive in nature. Anyway, Chippew it is who makes her way into the next round.
in white for Spain, Marta Toth. In blue for Croatia, Ivana Maric.
What have we got now? Well, I suppose we could go back and have a look at Benjamin Fletcher and Vincenzo Darco down on mat number 3. Yeah, let's go down and have a look at that one again. There was no score when we left it, and it's the situation now that we return. Just a single Shido against Fletcher at the moment. There's a little over 2 minutes left to go.
Second round for the women over 78 kilograms, tatami 1. In white for Brazil, Rochelle Luis. In blue for Germany, Caroline Weiss.
Fletcher leads by Yuko with a little over a minute left to go. Single Yuko enough for Benjamin Fletcher to get past Vincenzo D'Arco, and it'll be Fletcher to go into the first of the quarterfinals. He'll face Beka Gviniashvili of Georgia.
Evet değerli konuklar, 3. milyardaki bir sonraki müsabaka erkekler kategorisi 100 kilogram ikinci tur müsabakası beyaz şov ile Hollanda'dan Ebro, alt şov ile Macaristan'dan Miklos Surgianis.
Grohl, we mentioned earlier on, had a bit of a temperature and was ill, so he couldn't take part. Sejenic Miklos of Hungary, therefore, finds himself in the quarter-final. Right, coming up next, Ivan Remarenko of the United Arab Emirates faces Anis Ben Khaled of Tunisia. It's Remarenko in the white judogi, Ben Khaled in blue.
Evet değerli konuklar, şimdi birinci milyardaki müsabakayla devam ediyoruz. Bayramlar kategorisi 78 kilogram üzeri ikinci tur. Beyaz şov ile Türkiye'den Belkıs Zehra Kaya. Ve ham şov ile Fransa'dan Malik Er.
Just a single Shido against Remarenko. There's plenty of time left to go. Well over half the contest, and Ben Khaled has just made things that little bit less nervous for Remarenko by giving up that gripping penalty. And that was a poor effort there, come on. Yeah. What are you looking at us for? That was dreadful. Ben Khaled not happy with being given a second Shido that time for a false attack, but it really was. Wrapping him up now. And Khaled taking a bit of time to tidy himself up here. Remarenko given Rosari for that count, and he almost had another opportunity there.
İkinci biten bir sonraki müsabaka beyaz bölgeli Rusya'dan Anastasya Dimitreva ve mavi bölgeli Türkiye'den Çağrı Güzelsoy.
Well, Remarenko coming up with that one counter and then, yep, hanging in there to take that contest from, and it's Ben Khaled of Tunisia. That's in the under 100 kilo category, and it'll be Remarenko to face Sejenic Miklos of Hungary in the second of the quarterfinals.
Second round for men under 100 kilograms, the number 3. In white for Belgium, Toma Nikiforov.
On mat 3 now, Toma Nikiforov of Belgium faces Hutag Sotgarel of Mongolia. It's Nikiforov in the white judo gi, Hutag in blue. We'll stay here to watch Nikiforov and Hutag until Dmitrieva and Kusel Soy of Turkey have finished their contest. That's on mat 2 in the under 78 kilo category.
Ve hanımlar beyler birinci liderlik müsabakalarımıza devam ediyoruz. Bayanlar kategorisi 78 kilogram üzeri ikinci tür müsabakası ve beyaz bölgeli Türkiye'den Kayra Sait ve mavi bölgeli Güney Kore'den Yeon Kim.
Hutag it is who picks up the penalty for passivity. Yeah, on your way. Martinuzzi complaining, but he's already been told that he has to leave, so there's nothing he can do. So, Nikiforov picked up the penalty there. If you want to stay and watch this one, just click on 3. But we're going to go to mat number 2 quickly to see the contest in the second round of the under 78 kilo category. The former world champion Sol Kyung of North Korea faces Razia Ersoy of Turkey. It's Sol in the white judogi, Ersoy in blue. Our first look at Sol Kyung today. She had a bye in her opening contest. Just going to check this now. No, decided that it was not a score after all. I should have to work quickly off the belt there, and then I'll change the grip. So getting a bit of a roughing up here. So I picked up a penalty. So looking to go outside with that left Osotogari. Hasn't launched a really big attack yet. Oh, what an effort that was. Oh, crunching Osotogari for Ippon. It's Sol Kyung who makes her way into the third of the quarterfinals. We're going to go down to mat number 1 now. I want to take a look at the contest between the number 1 seed in the under 90 kilo category, Marcus Niemann of Sweden. He faces Hussein Khalmuzayev of Russia. Sorry, it's Niemann in the white judogi, Khalmuzayev in blue. Niemann has picked up 2 Shidos. And there's a minute and 30 odd seconds left to go. Third penalty picked up by Neiman. This is definitely not what the doctor ordered. Especially after last week's performance. He really needs to get past Karl Musayev here. Single score would do it as well. We'll take a drop there. Karl Musayev with 30 odd seconds left to go, and he really now has to put his foot to the floor here, Neiman, and give everything. Oh, missed that opportunity there. Ashiwaza got to be up on his feet. 10 seconds left to go. Good tussle, this one. Anything now. Disappointment for Balkas Neiman as he falls at that particular hurdle. There's a big group of fighters, the under 90 kilo category. Third round was one thing, but you needed to get to the quarterfinals to be in and amongst the medal chances. It's Karl Musayev of Russia, Hussein Karl Musayev, who makes his way through to the first of the quarterfinals.
The W1, sit round for win under 92. In 143.
We're going to stay here to have a look at the contest between Kejau Nabali of the Ukraine. He faces Bater Hodzhamamedov of Turkmenistan. It's Nabali in the white judogi, Hodzhamamedov in blue. Nabali on the board with Yuko. A little under 4 minutes left to go. Second score now, and the Osaikomi as well, squeezing that on.
Evet, Turgay Bey'le bir sonraki müsabaka. Bayanlar Türkiye'de Nursel Eren.
Third round for men under 9 kilogram, the number 1. In white for Switzerland, 2 cross class. In blue for Uzbekistan, Dishon Choryev.
Coming up on mat number 1 now, Cyril Grossklaus of Switzerland faces Dilshad Choryev of Uzbekistan. It's Grossklaus in the white judogi and Choryev in blue.
Topla ikinci günlerdeki müsabakalarımız devam ediyor. Bayanlar kategorisi ikinci tur 78 kilogram. Beyaz jök ile İspanya'dan Layla Talar. Ve Hamş jök ile Rusya'dan Alena Karşovskaya.
Grosvenor still looking to go over on that left side. Finding things difficult with Choriev at the moment. He's picked up 2 penalties. He looks a little bit frustrated here. Still time, however, a little over a minute left to go. Klaus still with those 2 Shidos against him, but we're going to go to mat number 2. The contest between Laia Talan of Spain is just finishing off. Elena Kakarovskaya of Russia. Talan picked up the single Shido. It's Kakarovskaya who goes through to the quarter-final, where she'll face Madeleine Malonga of France. And speaking of France, that brings us neatly to Teddy Riner. Teddy Riner of France is about to take to mat number 2. He'll face Daniel Allerstorfer of Austria. It'll be Riner in the white judogi, Allerstorfer in blue. The first of the quarterfinals in the plus 100 kilo category.
Third round for men under 90 kilograms, Italy 1.
Sizing up that right leg of Allerstorfer.
In the blue, for Spain, Nicolas Sherazadishvili. Second round for men under 100 kilograms, Italy 3. In white for Portugal, George Fonseca. In blue for Italy, Domenico Di Guida.
Allerstorfer picking up the penalty there. Finding it hard to generate some offense against the big man Teddy Riner is Allerstorfer. There you go, little left-sided Ojigari. Allerstorfer backed up into that near right corner. Little over half the contest still to come, just a single Shido against Allerstorfer at the moment. That was a poor effort. Sorry. What was that? He was lucky to escape without picking up a penalty there. There was no effort there, just collapsed. Oh, and another one goes over. So this time a hopping Osodagari from Teddy Riner. Two fights, two Ippons. 2 times Osodagari Alastorfa falls, as did Metis before him.
Beden Boksör şimdi ikinci çeyrek final müsabakası erkekler kategorisi 100 kilogram üzeri. Beyaz döküyle Gürcistan'dan Adam Okrashvili.
Well, Riner into the semi-final. He'll face the winner of the upcoming contest, which is Adam Okrashvili of Georgia and David Mura of Brazil. It's Okrashvili in the white judogi, Mura in blue. Nice effort there from David Mura, almost unsettling Okrashvili. comes up with a penalty for passivity. And Al-Krashvili also penalised.
Third round for men under 90 kilograms, the number 1. In white for Brazil, Iago Camilo. In blue for Russia, Alexander Grigoriev.
Well, having gone over for Wazari, David Mura, he then got himself into a good position to apply Judy Gutami, and he stole that one from the Georgian. Irakli Sirikidze can't believe it. Did the hard work, put the score on the board, and then ended up having to tap out.
Ve ikinci biterde çeyrek final galibi değerli konuklar Brezilya'dan David Moura.
David Mura into
Ve erkekler kategorisinde 100 kilogram üzeri 3. çeyrek final müsabakası ikinci binden beyaz judo ile
semi-final. He'll face Teddy Riner of France. What have we got coming up next then? Borbana of Hungary faces Luri Krakoveskil of Kyrgyzstan. It's Bor in the white judogi, Krakoveskil in blue.
Bayanlar ve 3. günlerde bayanlar kategorisi 78 kilogram üzeri beyaz judo ile Almanya'dan Yasmin Kuels ve mavi judo ile Türkiye'den Sebile Akdeniz.
78 kilogram times 3. In white for Bosnia and Herzegovina, Larisa Jelic. In blue for Belarus, Marina Slovskaya. Third round for men under 90 kilogram, Tommy 1. In white for Spain, David Ruiz. In blue for Kazakhstan, Samad Yesemin.
Two penalties picked up by Bor. Kragovetskil is causing the Hungarians some problems here. He better work it out quickly, or this one is going to get away from him. Kragovetskil picks up a penalty for passivity. He needs to be careful then. He's got a reasonable position here. He's got the advantage, Bor having picked up two penalties. Well, Bor, having collected two penalties, are not able to come up with a score. Kragovetskil just the one. It's the man from Kyrgyzstan who makes his way into the second of the semi-finals.
But number 2, the winner in blue for Kyrgyzstan, Yuri Kragovetskil. Yuri Kragovetskil will be in the semi-final, number 100 kilogram. The next quarter-final for
Coming up next, the last of the quarter-finals then. Rafael Silva of Brazil faces Levani Matiashvili of Georgia. It's silver in the white judogi, Matiashvili in blue. This makes things really interesting, both for Brazil and Georgia, because David Moura has won his contest against Adam Okrashvili. That was another Brazil-Georgia matchup, the Brazilian winning out over Okrashvili. So it's up to Matiashvili now to take his chance and show what he's worth, if he can. Oh, that was beautifully done. Terrific work off the sleeves there to throw Rafael Silva for Wazari. He misses out on following it up with any Osai Waza, but that's a really nice effort. Wazari then on the board for Matiashvili. Lots of work for the Brazilian Rafael Silva to do now. Yeah, maybe he's going to throw him again. Finish things off. Well, it's not as though Matiashvili won't have been up against someone that size before. He can use Okrashvili as a training partner if you like. And another good effort there, almost. One more push would have finished him off there. And there's a chance on the ground there. Osai Komi as well. Done. Dusted. He's not going from there. Terrific work by Levani Matiashvili of Georgia. Well, one Brazilian down a Georgian, and then one Georgian down a Brazilian in the heavyweight too. Make things interesting. Is it going to be Mura instead of Silva, and is it going to be Matiashvili instead of Okrashvili? The choice is yours.
Number 2, the winner in the blue for Georgia, Levan Matiashvili. Levan Matiashvili will be in the semi-final for men over 100 kilograms. The number 2, quarter-final for women under 78 kilograms.
Yeah, let's go to mat number 2. We've got a quarter-final coming up now, featuring Audrey Chermio of France. She's up against Marta Tort-Marino of Spain. It's Chermio in the white judogi, Tort-Marino in blue. We were on mat number 2, weren't we? Sorry about that. That really does. Oh, that was a beautiful Osodogari. Planted Tort-Marino there within 25 seconds. Chermio proving a little bit too sharp for the Spaniard. All over, done and dusted. I wonder where she learnt that. Actually, she's been doing that for a long time, but it does remind us of Teddy Riner a few minutes ago. Is it already the next quarter final? Hortense Umbala Antagana of Cameroon faces Anastasia Dmitrieva of Russia. Mbala Atangana in white and Dmitrieva in blue. The winner of this will face Audrey Chamillot of France in the first of the semi-finals.
Liglerle devam ediyoruz. Erkekler kategorisi 90 kilogram 3. tur sıralaması. Beyaz judo ile Azerbaycan'dan Ahmet Ali Mehdi ve mavi judo ile Hindistan'dan Avtar Singh. Efendim bu 3. biterdeki bir sonraki müsabakayla devam ediyoruz. Bayanlar kategorisi 78 kilogram üzeri. Ve beyaz judo ile İtalya'dan Santa Baghetti ve mavi judo ile Porto Rico'dan Melissa Moita.
Mbala Atangana coming up with a nice effort there to score Yuko against Anastasia Dmitrieva. So that's the lead with a little under 2 minutes left to go. Dmitrieva picked up that single Shido as well. Really putting the pressure on now. Mbala Atangana proving a bit of a handful for Dmitrieva. A little over a minute left to go. Got to come up with a score here. Dmitrieva, she'll have one more shot at this when she gets back to her feet. Mbala Atangana, well, she sensed that that would be happening, and Dmitrieva kind of rushed on to Mbala, didn't she, there? 2 scores then for Hortense Umbala Atangana of Cameroon. Puts her into the semi-final. What a result for her. Terrific to be able to pick up those sorts of points. She'll face Audrey Chermio in the first of the semi-finals.
The 22, the winner for Cameroon, Vanessa Bala Atangana. Vanessa Bala Atangana will be in the semi-final for women under 78 kilograms.
Right, the next quarter-final then features Sol Kyung of North Korea. She comes up against Yahima Ramirez of Portugal. It's Sol in the white judogi and Ramirez in blue.
Quarter-final for men under 100 kilograms, Madame Sri. In white for Georgia, Becca Viliashvili. In blue for Turkey, Benjamin Fletcher.
Ve değerli baklar, şimdi birinci liderde bir sonraki çeyrek final müsabakası bayanlar kategorisi 78 kilogram üzeri.
The difficulty for Ramirez here is going to be she comes to the tatami with a reputation for being error prone. She finds I don't know how many ways of picking up penalties, so she's got that to deal with. And the other difficulty is that Sol Kyung is a real handful. She's a strong thrower, and 4 minutes. She's got good fitness for the 4-minute contest. She's quite a powerful fighter, powerfully built as well, short and squat for the under 78 kilo category. But it's the throwing skills of Sol that Ramirez is going to have to deal with. Neither of the fighters looking that interested in attacking. And it's Ramirez who picks up the Shido for passivity. But it's Ramirez who comes up with the score. She catches Sol Kyung and now leads by Wazari with half the contest still to come. So we're going to find out now what kind of metal Sol Kyung is made of, because you've got to dig deep here. Ramirez has given up one penalty. She won't want to give this away now.
Madame Sri, the winner in white for Georgia, Becca Viliashvili. Becca Viliashvili will be in the semi-final for men over 100 kilograms. The next quarter-final for men under 100 kilograms, coming 3. In white for Hungary, Cyrenex Milos. In blue for Hector Beveridge, Ivan Revarenko.
Minute and 20 odd left to go. Just a single Shido picked up by Ramirez. It's much, much better performance from the Portuguese fighter. He's looking positive here, looking for an opening. Hasn't stepped out, hasn't dropped or flopped. No one-sided grip, the myriad of penalties that she could pick up all of a sudden against top draw opposition. She's pulled out a really good contest. 50 odd seconds left to go. This is the best performance from Ramirez, really is. You know, she's come in for a lot of criticism in the past for her style, but yeah, she's made a really good effort. She picks up a second penalty there, but having scored Wazari, you're not going to falter. She's done the hard work. She's put the positive score on the board now, and she can understandably backpedal a little bit with a North Korean former world champion breathing down her neck. And this has been a poor effort from Sol Kyung. She should have offered up a good deal more here against opposition that, even at the best of times, does not normally offer up this kind of performance. So a turn up for the book there in more ways than one. On the one hand, a disappointing effort from Sol Kyung. She never really showed us anything there. No really big attacks, nothing to threaten Ramirez, who's not the most difficult fighter on the circuit. And then, having taken that into consideration, Ramirez gave one of her best performances. Kept herself relatively error-free. The second one, you can take that one because it was coming towards the end of the contest. So, good work for Ramirez and a poor effort from Sol. Sol goes into the repechage contest, but it's Ramirez, surprisingly, into the semi-final. Oh well. Now Ramirez is going to face the winner of the contest on mat number 2 now, and that's between Madeleine Malonga of France and Elena Kakorovskaya of Russia. It's Malonga in the white judogi, Kakorovskaya in blue.
In white for Mongolia, Uta Sofia. In blue for Brazil, Rafael Musakarini. Dear spectators, we recorded the first and the second day of Samsun Grand-Prix. Team of France had 3 gold medals. Turkey, Korea, Kazakhstan, Bulgaria, Poland, and Turkmenistan 1 gold medal.
Değerli severler, küçük bir hatırlatma. Birinci ve ikinci günün sonunda altın madalya kazanan ülkeler Fransa 3, Türkiye, Güney Kore, Kazakistan, Bulgaristan, Polonya ve Türkmenistan ise birer altın madalya sahibi.
Single Yuko, picked up by Malonga as the lead in her contest with Alina Kakarovskaya. There's a little over a minute and a half left to go.
The number 3, the winner in blue for Brazil, Rafael Buzzacarini. Rafael Buzzacarini will be in the semi-final for men under 100 kilograms. The next quarter-final for men under 100 kilograms, number 3. In white for Kazakhstan, Maxim Rakov. In blue for Portugal, George Fonseca.
Kakarovskaya still working away. Yuko against her. Just can't get her head up though. Loose looking Uchimata effort there. Kathy Fleury wasn't impressed, was she? A shake of the head from the coach. She said, that's not a good one. And that's also not very good. With 16 seconds left to go, she may yet pick up a second penalty. Beginning to tire quickly here. No, let's that one go. Slightly better effort, but really trying to avoid the oncoming attack from Kakarovskaya. That's what's happening. Well, Malonga it is, who will face Ramirez in the second semi-final. Let's go down to map number 3 then. We're going to pick up the action in the quarterfinal between Maxim Rakov of Kazakhstan. He faces Jorge Fonseca of Portugal. It's Rakov who leads by Wazari with a little under 3 minutes left to go. Fonseca. I'm not sure if he's carrying an injury or not, but looks as though they're going to wrap this one up. Handshake there, but not sure what the result is going to be. Ooh, Rakov up, I think, is going to be given Hansoku Make for kicking at Fonseca. I don't know if we can see that. It's the last action in the contest, but it's the Hansoku Make that finishes off Fonseca. He has to limp off. Anyhow.
The number 3, the winner, blue for Portugal, George Fonseca.
Rakov will go down into the repechage contest. Fonseca into the semi-final. We'll stay to have a quick look at this quarter-final. Jasmin Kulbs of Germany faces Larissa Ceric of Bosnia-Herzegovina. It's Kulbs in the white judogi and Ceric in blue. Kulbs picks up a penalty there. And now Larissa Ceric attempts at Maki Komi, but you can see from where her arm is that she didn't have anywhere near enough of the arm of Jasmin Kulbs to bring that off. And now Kulbs has just manoeuvred her onto her back. And now she just needs to tie up the top, free the leg. And she can apply that Osaikomi, but Ceric manages to turn onto her front and avoids getting caught.
The number 2, the winner, in blue for Georgia, Adam Okoshvili. Adam Okoshvili qualifies for the professional contest for men over 100 kg. The next repechage contest for men over 100 kg, number 2. In white for Hungary, Paul Barta. In blue for Brazil, Rafael Silva.
Well, Kulbs coming up with a powerful finish there.
Müsabakalarımıza birinci liglerde devam ediyoruz. 78 kilogram üzeri repechage müsabakası. Beyaz bölgeli Almanya'dan Caroline Weiss ve mavi bölgeli Fransa'dan Marie El.
We're going to go down to mat number 1 now. We're going to see the contest in the under 90 kilo category. That's a quarter-final between Thiago Camilo of Brazil. He faces Samat Yesen of Kazakhstan. It's Camilo in the white judogi, Yesen in blue.
Number 3, the winner for Germany, Jasmin Cruz. Jasmin Cruz will be the semi-final for women over 78 kilogram. The next quarter-final for women over 78 kilogram. Number 3, in white for Ukraine, Irina Inderska. In blue for Puerto Rico, Melissa Mojica.
Camilo finishing off Yesen there beautifully. Nicely done by Thiago Camilo.
Çeyrek final galibi Brezilya'dan Thiago Camilo. Etaplar devam ediyoruz. Bir sonraki müsabaka erkekler kategorisi 90 kilogram çeyrek final müsabakası birinci.
The next of the quarterfinals in the under 90 kilo category. This features Patrick Chomsky of Poland. He's up against Mamadali Mediev of Azerbaijan. It's Chomsky in the white judogi and Mediev in blue. Chomsky picked up a penalty there.
The number 3, the winner in blue for Puerto Rico, Melissa Mojica. The repechage contest for men under 100 kilograms times 3. In white for Great Britain, Benjamin Fletcher. In blue for Hungary, Sinenix Milos. At number 2, the winner in blue for Brazil, Rafael Silva. Rafael Silva qualifies for the national contest for men over 100 kilograms. Semi-final for men over 100 kilograms. Number 2. Please welcome in white for France, Teddy Villiers.
Yeah, we've got the we've got the semi-final of the plus 100 kilo category coming up. That escaped my notice there. Teddy Riner of France faces David Moreau. In any case, we would have had to have gone there as a semi-final. Just didn't realise it was Riner. It makes it absolutely necessary to have a look and see what he's up to. Riner in the white judogi, Moreau in blue, and with Silva, the other Brazilian, having already fallen. This is a really good opportunity here for David Moreau. Again, Riner shaping to go up and over on that right side. No, Murray just ducked underneath there. That was a poor piece of judo there from Murray. There's no need to collect that kind of penalty. Attempted Ashiwaza from Riner. Just couldn't keep his hands on him. If he kept the hands on him, one hand went and he turned off that. Anyway, a third penalty now picked up by David Moreau. Attempted arm lock. Riner wasn't impressed with that. Pushed the attacking leg away. Minute 45. Well, Murray might as well go for it. He's got 3 penalties against him. Slightly off balance at the end there, Renier, and now Murray attempting to attack Renier on the ground, but Renier defends against that. And there's a minute 23 left to go. Attempted Sutemi was it, but nice and tight on the ground. And that is that. So Renier sees off the challenge of David Murray, not his best performance. Well, Murray I'm talking about. He would have liked to have been a little bit closer to the big fella, but oh well, there you go. Renier finds another way of winning out. He makes it into the final. Murray will go into the bronze medal contest. We've got the second of the semi-finals coming up here, so we may as well just stay here and watch Luri Krakovetskyl of Kyrgyzstan. He faces Levani Matiashvili of Georgia. It's Krakovetskyl in the white judogi, Matiashvili in blue. We'll stay right here.
That is the winner in blue for Hungary, Sirenik Smikosh. Sirenik Smikosh qualifies for the grand final contest for men under 100 kilograms. The representative contest for men under 100 kilograms coming through in white for Mongolia, Untitled Chapter, in blue for Kazakhstan, Maxim Rakov. The winner in white for Mongolia, Judo Grand-Prix. Mongolian Judo qualifies for the grand contest for men under 100 kilograms. Semi-final for men under 100 kilograms. That is 3. In white for Georgia,
There's another semi-final that's about to get underway on mat number 3. We're going to go down there to have a look at that. Sorry, Matiashvili. There's another Georgian on mat number 3 that we want to take a look at. That's Beka Gviniashvili. And just as we left mat 2, there was an ip on there. This isn't no good because we won't get the replay on it. So let's stay with Beka Gviniashvili in the white judogi, Ivan Remarenko of the United Arab Emirates in blue. It's Gviniashvili in the white judogi, Remarenko in blue.
Number 2, the winner in blue for Georgia, Levan Matiashvili. Levan Matiashvili will be in the final for men over 100 kilograms, together with Petrina. Represents contest for women under 78 kilograms, number 2. In white for Spain, Marta Tort. In blue for Russia, Anastasia Dimitrieva.
And he catches him again. Not spectacularly, but sufficiently strongly enough and with enough control to take his place in the final. Gviniashvili can celebrate there on a job really well done.
The number 3, the winner in white for Georgia,
So, Viniashvili so far has defeated Remarenko, Fletcher and Gazimov.
The next semi-final for men under 100 kilograms, number 3. In white for Brazil, Rafael Buzzacarini. In blue for Portugal, Jorge Fonseca.
Ve birinci biterde mesaj galibi diğer gruplar Fransa'dan Marie Ert.
Semi-final in the under 100 kilo category. Rafael Buzzacarini of Brazil faces Jorge Fonseca of Portugal. It's Buzzacarini in the white judogi, Fonseca in blue. Fonseca it is who picks up a penalty for passivity. And he picks up a second penalty and a nod of the head almost in acknowledgement of having given up that penalty.
Ve birinci biterde Güney Kore'den galip diğer gruplar Yori Kim. Yarı final galibi Güney Kore'den Yori Kim. Finalde kendisi mücadelelerine devam edecek. Ve bir sonraki müsabakamız birinci biterdeki 90 kilogram erkekler kategorisi nefesler müsabakası. Beyaz judo ile Uzunlar'dan Kiyo'ya kampanya. Mavi judo ile İspanya'dan Nikolos Şerzadişvili.
we're going to go to mat number 2. This repechage contest between Larissa Cherik and Kinzerska. You can click 3 if you want, but we're going to see the contest between Sol Kyung of North Korea. She faces Elena Kakorovskaya of Russia. It's Sol in the white judogi, Kakorovskaya in blue, and surely Sol can't allow another medal to slip from her grasp. If I'm not mistaken, last week she was in a similar position and ended up with a fifth place finish.
Category 3, the winner, for Brazil, Rafael Buzzacarini. Rafael Buzzacarini will be in the final for men under 100 kilograms. Repechage contest for women over 78 kilograms, times 3. In white for Bosnia and Herzegovina, Larissa Cherik. In blue for Ukraine, Irina Kinzerska.
Yeah, she lost the quarter-final last week in Tbilisi to Marhinda Verkerk. And then the repechage contest, she lost out to Madeleine Malonga. So she lost her quarter-final contest today against Yahima Ramirez, much to my surprise and much to the delight of the fans of Ramirez. And now, there she is against Kakorovskaya. She really needs this because a fifth place finish really doesn't do her any good. She needs to not only take this contest, but also whatever bronze medal matchup she may face as a result. So it's got a bit of work to do today if she's going to take a medal. When she gets the strong grip, she needs to come up with some attacks. That's the second part of the equation. If you're not going to end up throwing, then dominate the grips and then come up with some attacks. That way, your opponent will end up with a penalty. And then when you do attack, you need to follow up on the ground, really. Oh, that was a nice change of direction there. Look for the Sodes Tsurikomi Goshi at the beginning and then look for the Koichigari on the way out, but the score didn't follow. And a second penalty picked up by Kakorovskaya just after a little bit of hard work from Sol Kyung. She just drew that penalty, if you like. You need to get out of there. And again, no newaza from Sol Kyung.
Ve şimdi de erkekler kategorisi bir sonraki repechage müsabakası 90 kilogram. Beyaz bölgede Kazakistan'dan Samat Yevsen ve mavi bölgede Polonya'dan Fatih Çikomski.
That was a big stretch there from Kakorovskaya. Sol Kyung managing to fight that off. That's the North Korean who's going to take this one. and she will end up in the bronze medal contest. Alina Kakarovskaya missing out there. We're going to stay here because we've got back-to-back semi-finals in the under 78 kilo category. Stay with us, we'll bring you that action.
The number 2, the winner in white for the People's Republic of Korea, Song Hyun. Song Hyun qualifies for the bronze medal contest for women under 78 kilograms.
Right, coming up next, the semi-final in the under 78 kilo category. The first of the semi-finals, Audrey Chemio of France faces Hortense Umbala Atangana of Cameroon. It's Chemio in the white judogi, Umbala Atangana in blue.
The number 3, the winner in blue for Ukraine, Irina Kinzerska. Irina Kinzerska qualifies for the bronze medal contest for women over 78 kilograms. Semi-final for women over 78 kilograms, number 3. In white for Germany, Yasmin Cruz. In blue for Puerto Rico, Melissa Mojica.
Single Shido picked up by Umbala Atangana at the moment. Ooh, almost with the Ashiwaza there, and we know from history just how good Chemio's Ashiwaza can be.
Ve birinci biten müsabakalarımızın erkekler kategorisi 90 kilogram yarı final müsabakasıyla devam ediyoruz. Beyaz jogile Rusya'dan Kurşan Kalmovzade ve mavi jogile Özbekistan'dan Dilshon Choryev.
Single Yuko the lead at the moment for Chemio. Umbala Atangana giving a good account of herself here. Just a little far away with that effort. 3 penalties picked up by Umbala Atankana. A slightly untidy situation for the Cameroon fighter to find herself in, and a single score of Yuko was enough to put Audrey Chermio in the final of the under 78 kilo category. Now, her opponent in that final will come from the upcoming contest between Yahima Ramirez of Portugal and Madeleine Malonga of France. It could be an all-France final, couldn't it? We'll see. And here comes that next semi-final then. Yahima Ramirez of Portugal in white, Madeleine Malonga of France in blue.
Semi-final for women under 78 kilograms, number 2. In white for Portugal, Yahima Ramirez. Blue for France, Madeleine Malonga.
Ve birinci biterdeki galip, yarı final galipler toplar Rusya'dan Kusan Karmuzali. Ve birinci biterde finallerden önceki son müsabaka izleyeceğiz. Erkekler kategorisi yarı final müsabakası. Beyaz judo ile Brezilya'dan Thiago Camilo. Ve mavi judo ile Azerbaycan'dan Mahmad Ali Mehdi.
Malonga picked up a penalty. Malonga just backing Ramirez up into this near right corner. It's a better grip now for the French fighter. Ramirez picks up a second penalty, this time for stepping out. Came under a bit of pressure from Malonga and ended up stepping out the competition area. Well, Ramirez may complain, but it's Ramirez who ends up stepping out. She's fallen back into that mode of collecting Shidos. That's a third one now. Last few seconds then. And it's Ramirez who, on the back of having picked up 3 penalties, loses that semi-final. Madeleine Malonga of France will face her teammate Audrey Chermio in the final of the under 78 kilo category.
The time two, the winner in blue for France, Madeleine Malonga.
Ramirez will face Tort Marino. We're going to go down to mat number 1. The last of the action for the first part of the day. Yeah, Ramirez will face Marta Tort Marino of Spain. Sol Kyong will face Mbala Atangana of Cameroon. Mamadali Mediev squeezes past Thiago Camillo in the second of the semi-finals there. Camillo had thrown Mediev for Wazari, but they changed that to Yuko, and that was the difference in there. Okay. Right, let's have a look at the lineup for the semi-finals. I'll just give the semi-final contests. It's Hussein Khalmuzaev of Russia to face Mamadali Mediev of Azerbaijan. That's in the final of the under 90 kilo category. In the final of the under 100 kilo category, it's Beka Gviniashvili of Georgia to face Rafael Buzzacarini of Brazil. And in the plus 100 kilo category, Teddy Riner of France will face Levani Matiashvili of Georgia. As far as the women are concerned, well, the final of the under 78 kilo category is an all-French affair. Audrey Chermio will face teammate Madeleine Malonga. And then in the plus 78 kilo category, it'll be Kim Ji-yoon of South Korea to face Melissa Mojica of Puerto Rico. That's the lineup. We've got about, well, it's 25 to 2 here. So we'll be back at 5 o'clock. So in about 2.5 hours, yeah? We look forward to your company then. Bye-bye for now.